Avatar: The Last Airbender is widely considered to be one of the greatest animated TV shows of all time, and it's no wonder why. It's praised for its complex storytelling, amazing action sequences, and lovable cast of characters. The show spanned many genres. From emotional moments to action-packed episodes, there was something for everyone, which is why in today's video, we'll be going over our picks for the 10 best episodes from the series. Starting off with Sozin's Comet Part 4. The final face-off between Aang and the Fire Lord Ozai was one of the most heart-racing moments from the entire series, featuring animation that we thought would never be possible in an animated series. It was a true finale in every way, and it pretty much delivered everything we'd been hoping for in the climactic battle between these two giants. It also featured some moments that we'd been waiting to see ever since the very first episode aired on Nickelodeon, such as Aang using all the 4 elements at the same time. We even got to see an extended epilogue that helped tie up all loose ends so that we wouldn't felt left wondering about any unfinished storylines. And despite the fact that some fans were disappointed that Aang spared Ozai, the setup to the final duel had perfectly explained this decision. Next up, we have The Blue Spirit. This episode is a fan favorite, mostly thanks to the mystery elements and thrilling action sequences. However, more importantly, it marked a turning point for our favorite scarred firebender, Prince Zuko. After Aang got caught and imprisoned by Commander Zhao, Zuko put on a disguise, though we weren't aware of who the person behind the titular blue mask was until the end of the prison break, and broke Aang out of his confinement. The episode holds a lot of importance for fans, mainly due to the fact that it marked the first time Aang and Zuko would work together to take down a common enemy, a sign of things to come in the future. And although Aang didn't realize it was Zuko behind the mask, it showed us that the two boys could be allies, and also that the young prince may be a lot more redeemable than we'd thought.
So what move are you going to teach me first? Rocket Launch? The Trembler? Oh, maybe I can learn to make a whirlpool out of land!
Following up is Bitter Work. Aang finally learns the ways of earthbending from his unlikely instructor, and the newest member of the gang, the blind prodigy, Toph Beifong. Since this element was the complete opposite of airbending, we expected Aang to have a hard time mastering an element that was so different from his native airbending, hence the title. But this wasn't the only training montage we got. Elsewhere, we saw Uncle Iroh teaching Zuko how to redirect lightning as well, showing us that there was more to the old commander than met the eye. His speech explaining the importance of all 4 elements also offered a lot of insight into the show's lore and mythological themes. There were also some great comedic moments from the episode as well, such as Katara and Toph's disagreement over the latter's teaching methods, Sokka trapping himself inside a land crevice, and also Aang's training montage. Just classic shenanigans from the gang. At lucky number 7, we have the Firebending Masters. After mastering the other 3 forms of bending, it was finally time for Aang to learn the art of firebending. From the very first episode, fire had been seen as a sinister tool of destruction wielded by the Fire Nation, but this episode revealed the truth behind this destructive element, hidden away in the Temple of the Sun Warriors. Both Aang and Zuko travel to this extinct city together, this time as allies on purpose, which was cool to see considering their violent history, only to discover that the fabled Sun Warriors were still alive, as well as meet 2 ancient dragons. We got to see Zuko proving his loyalty to Aang as well, and what better way to prove himself than by exploring some ancient ruins with the guy he'd been hunting from the beginning of the series. The episode also had a little Indiana Jones reference. After the duo stumbles upon a golden artifact inside the ruins, Aang talks about how he was very suspicious of giant glowing gems sitting on pedestals. One of the only smart things to come out of the young Avatar's mouth. Moving on, there's the Crossroads of Destiny. Alright, now we had to include this episode on the list. The episode was packed with sheer emotion and action, and we're sure you all were just as hyped as us after Iroh demonstrated why he was known as the Dragon of the West. We also witnessed the sheer brutality of Azula, Zuko's sister, who we soon learned was bad to the bone. The Book 2 finale was also one of the darkest episodes of the series, ending on a pretty dark note, with Zuko betraying his uncle, the Fire Nation overthrowing Ba Sing Se, and the gang being forced into hiding. It was the perfect climax and setup for the next chapter of the story. At the halfway point of the list, we have Tales of Ba Sing Se. The episode was told through a series of different perspectives, while still staying true to the show, with a ton of laughs and heartwarming moments. Katara and Toph become closer as friends and have a girls' day out. Sokka learns how to write haikus, Zuko finally relaxes relaxed a bit and even went out on a date. Aang built a zoo, and Momo continued his search for his buddy Appa. However, the most memorable segment of the episode was Uncle Iroh's. After his own misadventure in Ba Sing Se, we see the old man climb to the top of a hill, where it was then revealed that today was the anniversary of the death of his son. Hearing Iroh sing Leaves from the Vine in his honor, and knowing that the episode was dedicated to Mako, the voice actor for the character who had recently passed away. We're sure everyone who watched the episode became a waterbender for a while afterward. Coming up next is the Avatar and the Fire Lord. The episode told us the story of Avatar Roku and Fire Lord Sozin, and how the two lifelong friends eventually became sworn rivals. In terms of series lore, this was a very major episode. It revealed the truth behind the beginning of the 100-Year War, as well as Roku's involvement in it. It also provided us with a lot more information on the Avatar, as well as their purpose in the world, just adding to the already high stakes of the show, even revealing that Zuko was a direct descendant of both these major historical figures, leaving the young prince with a huge decision to make. Heading into the top threes, we have Zuko Alone. The episode was a huge emotional touchstone for the young firebender, arguably his best performance in the series, showing us his transformation from a moody teenager with daddy issues into a badass with a heart of gold. Zuko even befriends a young boy whose family gives him shelter for the night. We also get a look at the young prince's childhood and how his mother was the only one who loved and understood him. But after her disappearance, Zuko was left alone with his father, the tyrannical dictator Ozai, to guide him. This episode showed us just why Zuko grew up to become the man that he was, and it was also the episode where we began to root for the guy as well. The penultimate entry on our list is the Siege of the North Part 2. The primary focus of the episode was Aang and his journey in the spirit world, along with the Northern Water Tribe's battle against the invading Fire Nation forces. Zuko had captured Aang's unconscious body after defeating Katara in the Cave of the Moon Spirits and intended to return to the Fire Nation along with the Avatar. The climax of the episode, seeing Aang enter the Avatar state and use waterbending to push back the Fire Nation Navy, was the perfect finale to the season, The Book of Water. On the other hand, it also gave us a lot of defining character moments, such as Yue sacrificing herself to restore the Moon Spirit, and got us pumped for the next season. And finally, at the top of our list, we have The Storm. This was a major turning point for many viewers, for it was this episode that cemented the series as a cut above all the other Nickelodeon shows that were airing at the time. Although the story was very entertaining early on, it was still considered to be just another kids show on Nick due to its humorous and episodic nature. However, everything changed when the 12th episode attacked. Sorry, couldn't help it. It showed us the stories of how both Aang and Zuko set out on their respective journeys. While Aang tried to cope with all of the responsibilities that he'd left behind a century ago before encasing himself in ice, Zuko contemplated all of the differences between him and his father. We also got to see Zuko's softer side for the first time, depicting him as someone more than just another adversary to the newbie Avatar. Knowing these two characters' backstories was important in order to understand how their minds worked, giving the show a higher purpose. Therefore, The Storm is our pick for the best episode of the series. That's a wrap for this video. Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite episode from the series? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.